Ladies and gentlemen, we are very pleased to be with you today. I'm Lénique Pedron, the director of the Trust Valley, and I am with Olivier Crochat, the executive director of the C4DT, come from EPFL. We are very honored to be with you with two parts of this slot with you. The first part will be a pitch of our startup, and the second part will be a discussion how to become a cyber entrepreneur, and we will have three startups with us, three entrepreneurs and one serial entrepreneur too, and they will speak about how you can find a way to create your own company in cyber. First, some word about the Trust Valley, and I just want to say to you that we are not alone. You have seen we have some people here. It's because we have the jury des assises de Monaco, du prix des assises de Monaco, the startup. They are with us since this morning, and they will follow the pitch of our startupper. Thank you. So the Trust Valley is a private-public partnership for digital trust and cybersecurity on mission to foster trust, innovation, and collaboration in the economy. We were founded by the State and Republic of Geneva and the State of Vaud. We work a lot with the NCS, so the Confederation, and all the part of some other government. So thank you to the Luxembourg to be with us, government part of the Luxembourg. Thank you to be with us today too. So we have as a founder 6 academics, such as EPFL is one of our founder. Thank you for the support, and also a lot of private and private sector, such as SMB SMEs, that you know as ACRT is the sponsor of the Trust Valley too, but also is Expert Solution and one other. We have also Kudalski and all the names that here I am sure you know. The Trust Valley mission is really, we do some referencing, promotion, network, hub, talent. Is for that it's really important for us to be with you today also. And we create some projects. The first program was created before the COVID. The name is Tech for Trust. This is a booster for startup. So if you have a project, if you want to create your project because we have an idea, just come to us and we can discuss to go to the market. Because what we have seen in this region is that there is a lot of many very strong and very good community with a lot of expertise, technical expertise, but sometimes they need to have the go-to market. So it's what we have done with our startupper, and we want to share that to you. We work also with the SMEs, so you will see some of our startuppers who are now involved in our program dedicated to SMB SMEs. So it's for that we open for them some possibility, some business opportunities to work with SMEs, also with corporate. Next, with key figure of this huge program, it was really a pilot the first year. We thought that it was very difficult to fund 10 startups, and we found 15 startups for the first edition, and now this is the 4th edition, and we have more than 100 startups supported, and it's nearly 50% come from Switzerland, all the canton, and to Zurich, Bern, and Vaud for sure, and Geneva, and also we have now lot of startups come from foreign country. It's 40% also. More than 50 partners, and more than 200 million raised by our portfolio. So what we have seen since the beginning of the journey with the Tech for Trust, it's really at the beginning it was really difficult for a cyber founder to fund raise funds, to fund the fund, to find a good investor. The market is really time ready now. So, I think it's really a huge opportunity for you also to go in this cyber entrepreneurship. The value of the offered by the program is nearly 100K and, on the budget. Okay. Best in class cybersecurity startups. So we scout all the year we scout with the help of EPFL, but also with private sector and also with the canton and also with the army. We work with Arma Suisse. Some of you maybe know the Cyber Defense Campus. They help us to have good scouting, and we scout this kind of expertise. I will not read all the word, but I'm sure that you have seen this kind of what we are looking for. We opened this year 2 new vertical relative to digital governance and peace tech. Why? Because we have now one incubator just opened at the end of last year in a new campus named Unlimited Trust, dedicated to economy of trust and cybersecurity, just close to pretty close to SIGPA company. And we will open also a new trust village in the same mood in Geneva in April or June, and we will scout about peace tech because we think that it's really a market to open with that, and also about quantum. At this time, what we have seen with the startup come from quantum, it was I think we can raise the number of the startup in quantum. In the field, we work a lot with space, smart cities, agri-tech, agri-food, health, and the other. So, moderation with Olivier Crochat, and right now, I call Conitech, our first startupper, so Gilles Rosset, CIO at Conitech.
Thank you, Lenny. Most security incidents have one thing in common. And I'm talking about intrusion, sabotage, fraud, data leakage, and so on. They were made possible because sometime in the past, something changed in the information system, and the impact of this change was not assessed or completely understood. A new service was exposed, but the configuration of your vulnerability scanner or IDS has not been adapted. A person moved within the organization and started accumulating toxic combination of access rights. A new version of the email client has been deployed on the workstations, and you don't have the right controls on the DLP agent or the endpoint protection system. Those things happen in real life. Whatever your level of maturity in terms of cybersecurity, whatever the budget, the tools, the people, the process is in place, that's the real life. So what can you do about it? Can you perform a complete, in-depth risk assessment for every single change? Obviously, it's not economically viable. My name is Gilles Rosset, and I'm the CEO and founder of Conitex, where we provide a technological solution to this issue. Our platform will monitor and watch and detect the pertinent changes in your information system and assess its impact in terms of risk and compliance to your policies, so that we immediately detect whenever you're in a situation where the risk is higher or whenever there's a violation of one of your policies. And as we are able to do that, we are also able to simulate the impact of a change that you plan to do. This is how we help our clients to achieve truly agile risk management and continuous compliance without slowing down innovation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilles. Do we have some question come from the Assises de Monaco? No, not yet. Oh, not yet? Okay. At the end. Okay, so Gilles, what are your USP? USP.
Yeah. Well, the USP is really the real-time aspect, because we are really monitoring all the information continuously. and the fact that we make it super user-friendly to the end users that we target. We are not dedicated to technical engineers. We are really targeting a population of risk managers, senior managers that want to use and have a vision on the situation and be able to use it without having a training or without having some complicated stuff to do or develop code or whatever.
Okay. And is it more for large companies, or is it depending on the level of security of data that you need to have, or what? How do you?
It's from the SMEs to the biggest companies, because obviously to have that kind of system in place, you have to have a certain level of maturity in terms of data. So that addresses SMEs and more. Yeah.
So it could be also SMEs then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No question? Okay, so thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
Thank you, Roger. Okay. Now, our next startupper, Stefano Zamuner, software developer and machine learning specialist at Clear Sky.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you ever considered how easy it is for hackers to clone your voice? It takes them just a sample of 3 seconds to build your vocal avatar and make you say whatever they want. Now imagine what they can do by stealing hours of recordings from board meetings or medical consultations. Confidential conversations need more secure solutions, and this is where Clear Sky comes in. Our product, ClearMind, will transform your conversations into digital and structured documents locally without the need for an internet connection. With ClearMind, you don't have to worry about taking notes anymore. You can focus on the conversation you are having, and our technology will take care about extracting and summarizing key information for you, saving you time, and all this without compromising your privacy. We already tested our solution in several clinics around Switzerland. Doctors are reporting improved focus on their patients and up to 40% of their time saved by using our technology. But ClearMind is not just for doctors. We are testing it in the legal domain, and our team will be more than happy to help you augment and automatize your private conversations as well. So if you are interested in this kind of solution, please meet us at our booth and sign up for a demo. I'm Stefano Zamuner, CTO of Clear Sky. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much.
Just maybe one question. I have the feeling that what you said is that it's processing a conversation to extract useful information.
Yes.
What's the link with the protecting the audio from fake redoing your voice?
So our solution is limiting the surface of attacks that you can have by being completely isolated from internet. So if someone wants to steal your data, they have to have physical access to them. But in any case, we are, of course, having encryption solutions on the device. So this is our solution.
Okay, thank you. Some question come from Monaco?
And so maybe while we're waiting for the questions from Monaco, you said that, of course, medical information is interesting, and you talk about the legal one.
Yes.
Any other domains or sectors where it could be interesting?
So there is the law enforcement, where you have depositions that clients people can do to the law enforcement units. Board meetings is another segment we are investigating at the moment. So this kind of solution.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next startup, Dejan Milenovic, CIO of Autena.
Thank you. Autena makes the world more connected, transparent, and authentic place by providing instantaneous, verifiable trust across multiple value chains. Our technology at the moment is in more than 70 countries and used in different verticals like pharma, food and beverage, luxury, and sport. Counterfeiting creates losses in the range of hundreds of billions of dollars per year and impacts societies and individuals and companies in multiple ways, but most importantly, it endangers human life. And in the recent years, we have noticed a rapid increase in counterfeiting, partially due to the pandemic and the increase in online trade, and also with the emergence of digital technologies, multiverse, and blockchain, we have the counterfeiting appearing as well and growing in the digital world. My name is Dejan Milenovic. I'm CTO of Autena, and together with my colleagues in Autena, we are trying to solve this, and we are working hard to solve this problem of counterfeited products and traceability in the supply chain. With more than 11 international patents combining IoT technology and blockchain, we provide a traceability and authenticity platform as a service. And this all also infrastructure free. So our technology provides a possibility to track products on the single product level, to collect interaction from end users of the products, to make a bridge between physical and digital products, and also to provide real-time monitoring of location and environmental conditions of monitored products. And I'm very proud to say that we are the first Swiss company who this year on the World Mobile Congress won the Global Mobile Award for this technology that provides bridge between physical and digital products. Thank you. I'm at the Tech Trust booth later. If somebody is interested to meet and talk, I will be there. Thanks a lot.
So maybe one question concerning the, it seems quite a huge infrastructure you need for that. So any proof of concept or already customers using the solution right now?
Yes, we have multiple customers, as I mentioned, in several industries, in pharmaceuticals, in the luxury sector, perfumes, in food and beverage, wine production, and in sports as well.
Okay, good. Okay.
What question do your product focus on? Like single time usage? Solution also that goes away with the life cycle of the product, being a product that could be, for a sell one time and then return to somebody else and so on and so forth.
Well, that's a very good question. Thanks for that. We have actually multiple let's say parts or devices which can do both, can follow, let's say, the products with a with a fast life cycle, so to say, but also longer life cycle products, and also reusable traceability solutions. When you talk about the life cycle management, this bridge between the physical and digital products becomes interesting, because then you can have these smart contracts in the digital world which follow uniquely a physical product and can sort of facilitate management of its transformation through the life cycle.
Okay, thank you. Jérôme?
Thank you very much.
Another question? No? It's okay? Okay, thank you very much, Autena. Okay, next one. Arnaud Gardin, Director Client Solution and Partnership to Another Way. So, Arnaud.
Let's imagine that you're a hacker. You're in the dark side of cyber. You do it for a living. So you need to be efficient. You need to be productive. What will you do first to attack a company or an organization? No ID? If I am a hacker, the first thing I will do is I will look at the statistics. 80% of attacks will leverage human vulnerabilities right from the start of an attack. So, and these human vulnerabilities, what are these? What are they? They are all the private information of collaborators, of VIPs, of a company, of an organization. So you just have to have a look at the social networks, at the forum of hackers on the deep and dark net, and you will be able to find a lot of information to create social engineering, phishing attack, etc., etc. What we do at Another Way is we change the game. We want to prevent this initial step. So we have created a dashboard in order to assess the risk for everyone in a specific organization. So we have an entry point, the email address, for instance, and we will gather a lot of information about their risk, and so that we can have a scoring about their risk. In a second step, for the people at risk, we will provide an individual web app for anyone to have a look at his own exposure. So, and with this web app, you will know exactly your exposure, your level of risk. You will be able to add your personal data to know if you have a leak on your Gmail address, or if you are exposed, if your phone number is exposed, and then you will be able to remediate that. We will give you some advice, we will give you some correction in order for you to remediate these vulnerabilities. So basically, we change the way we approach cybersecurity prevention. We address the human factor in a different way. So we change this approach.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Arnaud Garla, and
Yes.
I'm happy to receive your questions.
So you mentioned the market, or let's say the customer base. Is it more companies, or it could be directly individuals, interested in knowing more about their attack surface? And
So today we work with B2 with enterprise, with companies, but we've seen that, for instance, in the US and Canada, we are starting expansion there. Whenever there is a leak in a company, the company, to avoid class actions, will propose various tools, so antivirus and so on and so forth, and potentially our application for their employees. So at a certain step, we will go to the B2C market. But today it's B2B, and we can work as well with B2Gov for certain specific environment and protection. We won the Forum International de la Cybersecurity prize this year, and we are starting to work for the Jeux Olympiques 2024 in Paris with the Ministry of Interior.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
you.
so much. One question from Monaco. Jérôme?
Yes.
I have a question. I thought it was finished, but the question was, how do you deal with the very fast-moving environment that is internet? You gather all the information, you kind of take it, you have triggers, arguments. How do you go?
So good question. So basically we supervise data leaks, for instance, on the dark web. And whenever we have customers, we are GDPR compliant. So we do this when we have customers. We do look at their social networks on demand, based on their action, on their own action. So it's real time. We gather information from the various leaks, from the various social networks.
Okay, second question from Monaco, I think. Is right? Yes. Thierry?
Yeah, sorry. But in fact, I have my answer. Because you said to Jérôme that you have a look on the dark and I suppose also on the deep.
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, another way.
Okay.
Désolé.
Okay, next startup, Philippe Huguet, CIO of Alchemia. Welcome on stage.
$1 billion of events per day. This is the average number of events we are collecting for a mid-sized company of, let's say, 1,000 workstations to get a unified vision of cybersecurity and observability. We speak about 12,000 events per second to collect in real time, to ingest, to store, and to transform into actionable insights. Real-time data is becoming the fuel of cybersecurity, but it's also becoming a main issue because it's growing exponentially. This is the main reason why so many historical SIEM solutions are no more able to do the job, and also why the most powerful solutions are becoming so crazy expensive. This is exactly the reason why a leader like CrowdStrike 2 years ago decided to get rid of very famous solutions to buy a company called Humio, because Humio was one of the very few companies that built its own data processing technology. The good news is that you don't need to buy a company anymore because we are coming with a disruptive solution. So, Alchemia, we are a Swiss company, and we are very proud to develop the first AI-powered data factory that is breaking the complexity and the cost of real-time data analytics. To do this, our platform is able to be connected to any kind of data source, and at the same time, in real time, the data is prepared for an immediate usage. What was so complex and so expensive is done now 10 times faster and with 10 times less resources. I'm Philippe Huguet, CEO of Alchemia, and I'm very happy to be able to make your cyber data science dreams come true.
Thank you, Philippe.
So you talk about, let's say, data connectors. So it's mainly for IoT or workstation, or what type of devices you...
When I said that we can be connected to absolutely any kind of data source, it's the case. Structured or unstructured data, IoT, sensors, everything you want. And you spoke about USP. We are very proud about our universal connector because it seems to be a first worldwide invention, and the efficiency of our universal connector is just amazing.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Okay, maybe some
Thank you very
question. Sorry. Come from Monaco? No question? Okay, so we will go to the next part of... And thank you so much, Philippe. And just to let you know, you have seen some different state of maturity of startups. So some startups are at the very beginning part of their journey, so business concept, and some of them are more like Rotena at Series A, what we call Series A. So they've they have 2 or 3 rounds of seed to be in Serie A or Serie B. Now I will call on stage. It's my big pleasure to have on stage with us to speak about how to become a cyber entrepreneur. 3 startups who come from our acceleration program, the Tech for Trust. They are now alumni, so they are the brother of the startupper that we have in our cohort. So I'm pleased to call Laurent Balmelli. Laurent Balmelli is come from Strong Network, and I think we need to have some share. Yeah, please. We can help it if it needed. And Laurent, you won last year the FIC, the prize of the FIC. Yes. And I call also the team of Sapporo. We have 2 founders of Sapporo with us today. So, and you're 2 serial entrepreneurs, as you, Laurent. We call that serial cyber entrepreneur because it's not the first exit of this entrepreneur. And I call the last one Aurélien, come from Romia. Thank you very much for being with us. So, Olivier, maybe we can begin with some question for our startupper.
So
yes?
we have everybody on stage now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We've heard about the let's say the other startup, or they presented themselves just before. You've went through this stage, so you were a few let's say steps further. How does it feel?
Oh, you mean like the next stage?
Yeah, the next stage. It was like more running through the accelerator program from Trust Valley, and now you were that is done.
Oh, well, okay. That's a follow-up. Yeah. Okay. First of all, I'm really amazed that there's so many people, because thanks a lot for coming first. I was not thinking that we were going to have so many people, so thanks a lot. Don't go, because there are people actually leaving around.
T'approches un peu plus.
Okay. I think, it's been like everybody who's doing a startup knows it's a wild ride, right? It's going to be a lot of things. I think, being part of a program is essential for a startup. If you do a startup, I think it perhaps is the best way to start. You get yourself into a program, get some coaches, mentors, get into the network. And that's going to give you some boost. I mean, not all programs obviously are worth your time. This is a good one, but also, like, for instance, like we are like a part of a program like in New York, and after half time we decided this is really a waste of time, and also it was something with the NYU Stern, so we think that may be good, but then we're part of the one in the FinTech Lab in Accenture in London, which is unbelievable. So you have to pick your battles, not bottles. And I think this is a good way to move forward. Yeah.
Maybe a question for you, Philippe. We are very pleased to have you on stage. You are a serial entrepreneur, but also a papa, because we don't have Olivier on stage, but this is a startup at the beginning of also Olivier areas. Your son and your 2 sons are involved, I think, in the startup. Could you give you more information about that, how to become a cyber entrepreneur?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. For me, I have created a lot of companies so far, 9 to be exact, in my life. It's 35 years, so no merit. Okay, so, and the last one, because I'm here to speak on behalf of Sapporo, it's the most extraordinary for me because I did it with my 2 sons. So you can imagine what that means. So I'm very proud of that, for sure. At the same time, I have educated my son to become an entrepreneur one day or another. And this is what was happening in reality, not just for Sapporo, because for the 2 sons, it's not their first one. It's for the older one, the third, and for the younger, the second. So, so yes, it's something which is very important. And how? Because what we need to speak is how to become a cyber entrepreneur. So you can become a cyber entrepreneur by family usage, with my example. For example, but also by chance, by opportunity, but whatever. In order to succeed, you need to have step by step an environment that will make you successful. The first one is to have the good idea. I have heard the question from the audience. What is your unique selling proposition? It's not easy to respond to that question, right? But it's based on an innovative idea first, for sure. You need to consider what exists already, what doesn't exist, why you can do better. You need to be confident into yourself, but it's not enough. After, you need to build the first prototype and then build a little team, a small team at the early stage with people you trust. And then you need people like them around, not just Tech for Trust, but also Innovo and many other things that Datadovo can bring on the table. Because this is where you can acquire the visibility. If you consider Sapporo, for example, we have been very proud to win the first prize last year. For sure, that increased the visibility of the company to be chosen as the best cybersecurity solution. But then, it's not just enough. And after, you need to have the funding to success. I know that not all the company here need fund, but most of the time you will need funding, so you need to use the visibility that bring Tech for Test to get the right funding. This is exactly what Sapporo did. And after that, you need also to get customers, which is the last thing and not the easiest thing to get. So that's
just maybe I just want to get, you talked about customers. It's interesting, and also about the fact that you've had quite a lot of successful startups. So what is the difference? Maybe I'm almost sure over 35 years that the previous one were not cyber startups. So do you see any difference between a traditional startup or a cyber one, or what needs to be done there? Or
no, there is big difference. Okay. There is a big difference. This is the cybersecurity segment is crowded. Hundreds or thousands, I've not counted that exactly, exist on the market. So you can hear every day, including today, customer visiting you and say, we have so many solutions. So the net is, because we don't have too much time and I don't want to keep the speech too much, is, okay, if you want to acquire a new innovative solution, you need to keep out a solution that you already bought in the past. Because that's the rule today for all the customers. I don't buy if I don't stop the subscription of other
or it could be a new demon, no?
Yeah, but
so maybe Aurélien, have you seen also that type of like overcrowded potential customers market, or with competition, or?
Yeah, I mean it depends. On your side, we are more on the data protection part, especially about regulation. We work a lot with GDPR regulation with European companies, and in Switzerland we work with the new LPD regulation. And in Switzerland, we don't have so much competitors on these specific regulations issues. So for me, it's a little bit different. But in Europe, yeah, there are a lot of companies doing that. But generally, in the tech and in the cybersecurity, we can see a lot of companies working on different subjects. And yeah, I mean, I can understand it's quite hard to be visible on the right way.
And you talk about your product around GDPR or things like that. So why Switzerland and not being based in Europe? So what is it more interesting? Why is it more interesting to be around here?
Well, first of all, because I'm living here. So, yeah. And just to explain a little bit about myself and my background, I was working in a company here in Switzerland near Geneva in a startup, but inside a big IT company. I left this company 5 years ago to build my own startup. Thanks to my clients, they pushed me in this way. And when I found my company, I already have clients. So it was a big chance for us. And that's why, I mean, our market here is so important for us because we have already a network and the trust of our clients. I mean, it's the most valuable thing in our company. We can create tech, we can create program, but at the end of the day, what is matter is the trust that the client give to us, to you.
Okay. I know, Laurent, you don't like that I told about this story, but I will do because you are in Insomniac, so it's I hack your slot, and just want to talk about how it's possible to find fund and to find a good investor. And could you tell more about your story with Wigman and what's happened with them?
Okay. Yeah, obviously finding money is the first thing, right? And also I think you need to take money when you create a company because startup, because you're not creating like an SME. You're creating a company that needs to be fast. So that's why you need to raise more money that you can make with customers so you can grow faster. The main issue, the main point for that is because you're doing something innovative. So if you wait too long, and you're trying to grow like moms and pops or nothing against SMEs, but like it's a different just business model. So I think it's very important that you keep in mind that the time to market is critical, especially when you want to raise money. So my experience is that I was fortunate enough that it was my second startup, and I sold my first startup to Snapchat in 2016. So then I have an earn-out period, and then
but in Switzerland, in Yverdon.
Yeah, in Yverdon, all places. Yeah. Well, actually, they asked us to you guys should move to LA. I said, well, no way. Yeah. I have two kids, a wife, a house. So ready. And I lived in the US for 10 years. I lived in New York, and then I did Japan. So I was like, okay, that's enough for me. I want to raise my kids in Switzerland. So I said, like, okay, so I'm gonna. And eventually, so they bought us, and that was a good experience, obviously, for the, when you look for funding. For the next time you go to CVCs, if you have an exit, wow, that's kind of a gold card entry, politics. So obviously it makes things way easier, right? I need to be, recognize that if I didn't have an exit, I didn't have to go, because I basically went to see only one investor, was Wingman Venture. And so we raised 600,000, no customer, just an MVP that I coded with my partner, and a guy who left Snapchat to come with me, and so we raised that money, and then we this is something else. Don't expect yourself to pay yourself much, right? Expect to live on a shoestring, like for the next 2 years, right? We literally, I think if you do a startup, like if you want to have more than 5,000 a month, it's not for you. So this is kind of a rule of thumb. Everybody's going to pay about 5,000 a month, which is, I think, okay in Switzerland to live, right? Obviously you're not going to go on vacation very often, right? Especially if you have two kids and a wife.
Yes, clearly.
But this is just life, right? But I think you're in for the adventure. So you have to find also people that are minded, that they agree on that. It could be perceived as a sacrifice, but to me, I just think it's a great experience because building this team is one of the crux of creating a startup like that. And then, so we lived on that shoestring for about a year. And change, and then I could sell the platform to Broadcom, which is a global customer in San Jose, and then we raised. Then we seen this investor, and we raised 5.2 million last year. But one thing that I learned, because I didn't know this with my previous startup, is that getting the VC is like every time you have a step is the brand that you put on your startup. So it's really strategic. I was not ever aware of this. I say, well, money is money. But actually there's money that is actually better than other money. And you need to put kind of the bright stamp of which VC, because if you want to go next with the benchmark of the world or this kind of investors, they need to have good VC. So be very careful when you take money from people. You have to be very careful where it comes from, and also make sure that it's not something that's going to impede your growth. Yeah.
It's really interesting. And just another question on we talked about cyber entrepreneur and back also to the questions. Have you seen any change in the market between your first startup that was also about
huge
security
change.
and
huge change in terms of money, right? Yeah, huge change. Absolutely. Like for instance, our pre-seed VCs, they have a fund that is basically just for EPFL students that have an idea, which is fantastic, right? They get like 20K and they can just realize that idea, and which didn't exist before, right? And also like Wingman Venture, the pre-seed is very new. Pre-seed funding in Switzerland, it's really something that for the last 2-3 years, when I did my first startup, there was no such thing. So if you need like $500,000, which seems to be a lot, right? But when you put like a team and you try to, again, it's not going to be a lot, right? To create a product, especially if you do something that is complex with infrastructure. So, but money is there. And if you have a good idea, if you're really motivated, I mean, it's really possible to do it.
And you ask 200K to Wigman.
Yeah.
And
So
they
we-
say to you, no.
We went with my partner. We said like, okay, well, let's ask 200K because I think, we have no customer, we have no product. We just have the MVP. And literally, we went to see these guys, and they said like, well, actually, we wanted that money in October. It was July, and this guy said, well, no, you need the money now, and you need 600K. And I said, oh, okay, for SIM dilution, yes, okay, then let's go for it.
It's good.
So, but again, I think what the message that there's money to be allocated to good projects. So you have a good idea. I mean, it's definitely possible.
And maybe about the Switzerland and the change in the market. Sapo, were you based already in Switzerland for the previous companies, or are you based outside of Switzerland?
The two last one before Sapo was Swiss based too.
Okay.
So Nexink was the first one.
Yeah.
You said it changed a lot. I don't agree that much. Of my experience, for example, for Nexink, I remember we had no product, a prototype, even if we can call that a prototype, but I'm kind, so you call that a prototype. And then we met Venture Incubator at the time, which was based in the PFL, Alenico, that everybody knows, obviously. And we discussed, and I said, we have nothing, we have no people, we are just 4 people in the company, 2 developers and 2 in charge of the business development. And they say, yeah, I agree, but do you have a customer interested? I say, yes, we have one. And is he ready to pay something, whatever it is, to work with you? You say, yes, but it's a very few amount of money. You say, that's fine. It's a reference. So I say, yes, it's a reference. And they say, okay, you can have 1.6 million, which was for a pre-seed round. You see? So, yes, it changed.
So
and at the same time, you have also opportunities. At the same time that today there is big money on the market, but you can cry for 600. But between us, what you can do is 600. Not that much, as you said. Right? So it changed, and at the same time, it's always the same story. You need to choose the right one, because $1 is not $1. I disagree on that. I say, for me, $1 is $1. I met hundreds of VC in my life in my 9 companies. Do I consider one better than another? No. What you can wait from VC? They claim, we'll help you on the sales side, on the business development. No.
So there is some disagreement there.
No.
On the other hand, you talked about having a customer or a potential customer helping. Have you seen that, Aurélien? You mentioned the fact that you were, let's say, pushed to entrepreneurship by your clients or actual clients. So you had already the potential customer when you started there. Does it make a difference? Did it make a difference for you?
Yes, our client was really important at the beginning of the company, because they trust us. They can make the fact that we can pay ourselves. And, because we also have families. So yeah, we need to be paid for the work. And, I mean, money is a part, they paid for the service, but also the network opportunities they opened to us was really important. So on this point, it's very important for us to rely on the client. And, it's also really important to rely on specific organisms like Trust Valley, for example, or InnoSwiss, etc. We are alumni for Tech for Trust Season 2, and, we gain a lot to be part of it, to be honest. We learn a lot of things. We create a strong network. But, and we also gain a large amount of credibility on the market. And yeah, I mean, all these points are really important. Alone, it's not sufficient. It's not enough. But when you put all these things, yeah, you can take some value from that.
Okay. One last question.
Please.
Just no. Yes, it's such a big pleasure for me to have you all here. It's 1 hour share with you on the other startupper. It's an extract of what we are doing in the Trust Valley. We created this ecosystem in the region, but we work also with other ecosystems at the international level. We will go in RSA conference in San Francisco next month. And, yes, we work also with the north of Europe. And, maybe do you have one advice, one things to do to someone who wants to become a cyber entrepreneur? First, maybe you have the micro, so let's go.
Just go one step ahead. Try it. I mean, it's worth it. And, it's not so complicated, but don't be shy. Talk with other entrepreneurs. Open doors, Trust Valley, Geninem, Innovo, InnoSwiss. You have a lot of opportunities, to create, but you have to create it by yourself.
Yeah, I think the only thing I can say is that you need to be, I mean, like a team builder. This is all about the team, right? It's not going to be you. It's find the right people to work with. I mean, this is the thing. Also, when you go to VCs, they look at the team. That's the first thing they look at. They look at who's basically partnering, right? If one-man show never works, I don't know any VC really that invest in one-man shows. 3-4 people, sometimes a bit more difficult, right? Because, it's like a couple is like ideal. So find a good partner, find somebody who complements your skills. I think this is the first step really to create a company. Yeah.
Thank you, Laurent. And Philippe?
I will be very short because I completely agree with Laurent. Most important thing are people. The people you are working with, which include your customers. That you need to build a trust. Tech for Trust. The name is not for nothing.
Lot of trust.
The word trust is the key of the cyber security startup. The trust. The trust between people inside and transmitting this trust outside. So that's the most important thing. People.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all, and see you for the next level of your startup, and continue the adventure, the journey with you. Thank you.